Johnson wrote, "Hey everybody, I really been missing big kung fu movies. The Raid 2 was awesome, yes, but it seems like kung fu movies are non-existent right now. Movies like Jackie Chan or Jet Li would be in. We don't have a big kung fu star anymore. What are your thoughts on why no big kung fu star and why no big nationwide kung fu movies being made anymore?"
Schnepp, you were reacting to that pretty hard.
Yeah, I just don't know what planet you live on, dude. I mean, there's a million amazing kung fu movies that come out all the time. They just don't get released here in the United States of America. Remember, this is a giant planet with a lot of other countries. Donnie Yen, Iceman, check it out. You got Grandmaster. That was actually released last year here in the States. There's a ton of movies that are made all the time. In fact, not even the greatest films, but you have one of the Wu-Tang guys. He's got the Man in Iron Fist 2.
Rizzo, yeah.
They've already shot that. So, I mean, there's a lot of action and kung fu films happening all the time. You just have to look for it, not in theaters here in America, unfortunately, because it's such a limited amount of people who go see them nowadays. You know, I mean, that's just the truth. So you have to hit it up on VOD, look online and search for Kung Fu films 2015. You'll find a ton of them.
But I think that's where Brandon was going, though, because even when Bruce Lee and Van Damme, when Van Damme was out, there were also tons and tons of other ones that obscure ones, not obscure, but ones that a lot of people in the mainstream didn't know about. So I think what Brandon's kind of getting at too is that there is really no mainstream kung fu star right now, because Schnepp's absolutely right. You can find a ton of these movies. They're always being made, but there hasn't been that guy, the Jet Li's, the Jackie Chan's, that has really, I don't want to say stepped up, but has knocked into the mainstream the way that those dudes did. Will it happen again? Yes. And I want to hopefully cross my fingers that Tarantino will be the guy that brings in some more kung fu movies and do like a big one the way he did with some Western. I mean, he did it kind of with Kill Bill, so to see that. But there hasn't been that star yet recently.
Well, you had Tony Jaa as well. I wanted to bring him up. He's got a brand new movie coming out. So there's people, you just have to, you know, look for them. They're
do you
all
think
there.
mainstream? Who do you think could transfer over to the mainstream though?
Well, when you say mainstream, you mean U.S. market. That's what we're talking about.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, who's going to transfer over? I don't know.
Could someone transfer over, I guess?
Yeah, I think Tony Jaa or Donnie Yen could easily transfer over.
But you also look at like when Van Damme came out and when Jackie Chan crossed over to the Americas with Rumble in the Bronx in the mid-'90s and Jet Li. That was back in a time when stars opened movies more so than the film itself. Yes. And now with the advent of big blockbuster comic booky movies taking over at theaters, it's like one of the things that kind of gets left out in the cold is that middle action movie that doesn't have a huge budget but still has one big star that's going to lead in. So now look at a guy like Jason Statham, who now is part of a franchise with Furious 7. That's his biggest movie. And so I think the fact that the poster has the movie as opposed to the star in the movie, that's the foot that they're leading with. That's why you don't see as many crossover. But when you do, like when you get the Raid or the Raid 2, we all love it. So
and the Raid and Raid 2 are movies that have kind of pushed over a little bit because those are smaller foreign films, not in the mainstream, and they have transferred over too from word of mouth and from great Blu-ray sales.
You mentioned the Raid 2. Here's a big thing: when these films like the Raid 2 play in theaters here in America, go pay for it.
Yes, absolutely,
because that's what tells the studios that we're interested in seeing these films. You have to actually actively go to the theater and see the film. The Raid 2 was a very tiny release. We talked about it. We implored everyone, go see this movie. It's up to you to make that decision. Like, I'm going to wait until it's on Netflix. Then it's partially your fault. You have to actually show them the money so that they'll be like, oh, okay, they want more of this. We'll bring that there. We're not going to just make a remake like the Raid's getting remade. We'll actually show you the actual original film from the country of its origin, and you're just going to enjoy it.
And those guys will get work because of it. And look at Star Wars. I mean, why do you think those guys got start with it? They're choreographing the Force Awakens, the fights and stuff too, and they're going to be in. A lot of those guys from the Raid 2 are going to be in that movie. So, that could be something big for them too. If there's some incredible, we don't know what those guys are doing. So if they have some scene that just knocks everybody, it's going to be one of the biggest movies on the planet. And then they're like, well, who's that guy? Let's have that guy do a movie. Maybe one of those guys from the Raid 2. So your initial question, I know you brought up the Raid and Raid 2, but those guys could be the next guys.
Yes, in fact,
Support your local kung fu franchise.
yeah,
That's right.
You're going to see the Raid 3 have a much bigger opening because of Star Wars,
true.
because of them.
The Raid 3 could have lightsabers in it, guys.
Hey everyone, if you liked this video, click that thumbs up button and make sure to subscribe to our AMC Movie News YouTube channel. It's free and helps you stay up to date with all the latest movie news, as well as our daily AMC movie talk show. Also, make sure that you follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with all of our special promotions, contests, and prize giveaways.